I'm so glad you're joining me today. You're going to worship God and learn more about what He can do. Come on!
Matthew 19:26. With God, all things are possible.
What? You mean like God can create a whole planet out of nothing?
Yes.
You mean He can start or stop a rainstorm whenever He wants?
Uh-huh.
He can walk on water?
Yes, Jack, that's what it says. With God, all things are possible. All.
Hello, friends. We're talking about escaping. And today we're going to hear an awesome story from the Bible about people who had a great escape. Last week we learned about when God told Moses about the plan to use him to set the Israelites free from Egypt. God gave Moses instructions to go to Pharaoh, the leader of Egypt, and tell him to let his people go. So that's what Moses did. What do you think Pharaoh said? He said no. So God sent a message to the Egyptians by sending a plague. The first plague was water in their river turned to blood. All the fish died and it was smelly, but that didn't change Pharaoh's mind. So Moses went back to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." Pharaoh said no again. God sent another plague to the Egyptians. The second plague was a whole bunch of frogs. They covered everything. They hopped on all the Egyptian people and all their houses, but Pharaoh's heart still didn't change. So Moses went to Pharaoh again and said, "Let my people go." Pharaoh said no again. So God sent a third plague to the Egyptians. God sent gnats, which are little flying bugs, and they were everywhere. But Pharaoh still didn't let the people go. So God sent a fourth plague to the Egyptians. There were flies everywhere. Do you think Pharaoh decided to let the people go then? No. God sent a fifth plague. All the animals that belonged to the Egyptians died. The Egyptians were very sad, but Pharaoh still did not let the people go. So God sent another plague. All the Egyptians got sores all over their body, but Pharaoh still didn't let the people go. God sent yet another plague to the Egyptians. A big storm with a lot of hail came to Egypt, but Pharaoh still didn't let the people go. God sent an eighth plague to the Egyptians. Locusts, flying, annoying bugs covered everything. But Pharaoh still wouldn't let the Israelites go. Then God sent a ninth plague to the Egyptians. The whole land became dark, and no one could see anything. Still, Pharaoh said no. Finally, God had one last plague to send to the Egyptians. And this one was the worst. He prepared the Israelites by telling them to kill a perfect lamb and paint the blood over their door frames. Then they were to have a special meal together and get ready to run away. That night, the angel of death came to their land, but passed over the houses of the Israelites that had blood on their door frames. Every firstborn son of the Egyptians died that night. Even Pharaoh's son died that night. The Egyptians were so sad. Pharaoh told the Israelites to leave Egypt. Moses and the Israelites were so happy. God was helping them escape. When God allowed the plagues to happen, God was communicating power. God cared about the people and would do anything to help them. God cares about us too, and He is bigger than anything we face. God can do anything.
Welcome back, guys! So, in our story, the Israelites had been slaves in Egypt for hundreds of years.
They were treated badly, and it was time for them to escape. The Egyptian ruler, Pharaoh, was determined not to let them leave Egypt, so God sent 10 plagues to change his mind.
What was the first plague? You're right, the river turned into blood.
Then there were the plagues of frogs, gnats, and flies. They each came and infested the place where the Egyptians lived.
Would that drive you crazy to have frogs, gnats, or flies infesting your space? It would be pretty irritating.
In the 5th plague, the animals that belonged to Egyptians died. The animals that belonged to Israelites were spared though.
In the 6th one, the people got boils, which are big, painful bumps on their skin.
The other plagues were just as bad. A huge hailstorm, big bugs called locusts, and complete darkness.
The Egyptians had not treated the Israelites well. They made them work really hard and were mean to them.
All of these awful things had to happen to Egyptians to convince Pharaoh to set the Israelites free.
Then there was one last plague that was the worst of all. The angel of death came and took the lives of all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, including the son of the Pharaoh.
How were the Israelites protected during the last plague? Yes, they painted the blood of a perfect lamb over their door frames, and death passed over their houses.
The plagues were about more than just punishing the Egyptians and freeing the Israelites. God wanted everyone to see His power.
Whatever we face in life, we can trust that God is bigger. There is nothing He can't do.
Most importantly, He can and will do anything to show people who He is.
Let's spend time talking with God in prayer.
Dear God, thank you for this amazing, true story about how great you are.
Thank you for being bigger than anything we face and for helping us.
Amen. Do you know what today's big idea is?
No, let's go see.
The big idea is God can do anything. Whatever we face, we can know God is bigger. There is nothing God can't do. We can be thankful for that. Parents, find other lesson materials linked below on our app or our website at discoverdestiny.org. Join us for next week. Bye!